Hey guys, it's been a minute. Getting past the holidays now. Just wanted everybody to to give everybody an update on, our camping, RV, truck situation. Still nothing else on the recalls, recent recalls. I haven't taken it in. One sounds fairly minor. Leave a comment. The tailgate, I guess there's a tailgate inspection recall. The RV has been in storage for over a month now. We plan on taking it out next month. Just doing some camping in our normal camping area in Arizona. Might go to Quartzite, not to camp necessarily. Actually camp probably about 20 minutes outside of Quartzite when we do it. But yeah, Quartzite and maybe Laughlin. I'll try and maybe do a couple quick videos from there, or at least do some pictures. I'm sure a lot of you have been, but if you haven't been, it's great. We really love all the vendors that are out there. Everybody's super friendly. It is dog friendly. We took our dogs last year, and if I have a picture of that, I'll try and bring it up. And no problem, other than our dog is just kind of pulling a little too much on the leash. They're not really too much used to the leash. We're trying to get them on it more and more, but it's still a work in progress type thing. Speaking of the dogs, give it the finger. They're all out here in some state of trying to play, but mostly sniffing and digging. Try not to let them dig, but yeah, they're doing good. Got all of them out here right now. Other than that, yeah, we're gonna do some camping. Hopefully the weather will be good out west here. We've gotten, actually, believe it or not, a fair amount of rain, which has been nice. We really need it. And hopefully in February the weather won't be too rainy, because some of the areas that we actually drive through did actually flood in the southern part of the state. Even northern part of the west here got so much rain that they really flooded. There was a lot of the roads that were shut down or not passable. I know in some of the higher elevations there was quite a bit of snow, so we normally don't hear about people carrying chains out west here too much. We actually heard about people carrying chains again going up into these areas. Some of them, the elevations are over 7,000, so they'll get a fair amount of snow no matter what happens. Love to do some camping up in those areas, but just probably not going to happen this year. Really focusing on getting the holidays behind us. We actually do have a cruise plan, which not really related to RVs or trucks, but going to head up to Alaska. If anybody's done that, we're really looking forward to it. That's not till September. Yeah, September, beginning of September. But we may do some RVing after that. Everybody knows, especially if you're new to the channel, we normally take the summer off and kind of attend to health needs for ourselves. Stuff around the home that may need fixing. Our dependents that may need different things done. We try and help them out. But beyond that, yeah, the truck's been running great, knock on wood. Thank goodness diesel's come down a little bit. Still pretty high out west here. I'll try and do a screenshot of maybe some gas buddy prices, but it has helped. I still try and keep it basically full or above half at a minimum, just due to that fuel pump situation and what others have I've seen online does help for certain reasons. Not sure why. I don't run any additives in my diesel. Being under warranty, I'm a little leery. I know a lot of people do recommend it. Leave a comment below. Do you run any additives in your diesel? I did research a few. I can't remember the names. They're escaping me again. I'll put it on the screen here if I can think of them. But yeah, other than that, I was just trying to think on the truck if there's anything else. The tires probably need to rotate. Still running the Falcons. Been watching a couple Discovery Diesel brothers and whatnot, and love to run some bigger tires on this thing, but I don't want to lose the mileage, and I think I have the biggest tires. I think I want to say they're 34s that will fit. Love to run a 37. I don't think it's going to happen, not unless I throw a lift in there, which I doubt I'll do at this point. Although I think I could still tow fine with even a bigger lift. But again, I'm really hesitant to lose any gas mileage that I'm getting, even though I lost some with these bigger tires already, probably a couple miles per gallon. Just be aware, guys, when you do that, if you're into it for the mileage, especially if you're towing, which this channel really is about, you're gonna lose a couple miles per gallon. You'll have to take the hit. They look way better, and you know, if you get a fairly aggressive tread design like the Wild Peaks are, you'll be able to pull yourself out of certain situations. So it's a trade-off, and I feel like it's worth the trade-off. There's been, right away, as soon as we got the truck, had the bigger tires on it, or it'd been a little while, got the truck a little while later, we got the tires, and there was a situation where I was helping my brother-in-law tow a trailer out in the desert, and it dug in, and the bigger tires threw it in four-wheel drive, pulled us right out, no problem. There's been about at least 2 other situations where we've been camping where we've been able to pull ourselves out. Thankfully, with the aggressive tread design, it threw it in four-wheel drive, it grabbed and pulled the whole thing out. So there are definitely times to have four-wheel drive, even if you don't think you'll ever use it. And there's definitely times to have a little bit. I want to do this quick video on the Rhino Ultimate Tow Recovery Strap. This is part of my recovery gear. You know, God forbid, but it happens, you know. I know myself, years ago, we got stuck in the sand, and it was a strap that pulled us out, not a chain. You know, when you got a lot of weight, when you're the nylon recovery hook instead of steel, these are rated pretty good. Supposedly a little safer than the steel recovery hooks, shackles. You're tired, a little more aggressive tread design. No matter, even if you think you won't boondock at all, these happen in regular campgrounds that just happen to have soft dirt. So there's absolutely times you might need it. And now that I think about it, one was actually why I was turning around. We got a little lost in Arizona one day, and we were going around, basically doing a little bit off-roading, and it helped us pull through that. But it's nice to know you have it, that you don't want to push it, I guess you could say, you know, if it's anything too aggressive, you know, if it's too much mud, too much whatever, you got to use your own judgment. But just know you do have it, and it's good to know that you can use it. You know, please leave a comment. Have you used four-wheel drive to pull you out while you've been towing? Do you use it, you know, just in general? I know there's a lot of off-roaders out there that love to get out there on the weekends, whenever. You know, really go for it. And that's my younger days. Did some of that in the military with the Humvees. Totally get it. It's a blast. At this point, though, especially with our tow vehicle, we want to try and keep it in fairly decent shape, and its main purpose is to tow that, you know, our fifth wheel. The fifth wheel is pretty much good to go. Where again, what we do is we accumulate certain items to go back out there, and believe it or not, there's not that many to go this time. Usually we have a pretty healthy stack. Actually, I think we're putting in a new trash can that she found on Amazon. I'll put maybe a picture of it. The one that's in there does not have a lid. Our 2-year-old boxer, she's pretty good, but she still likes to dig in the trash every now and then, so we're going to put a lid on it. Fairly minor stuff, I know, but you know, other things like that. Like I've told you guys, the water heater is good to go, but with electric and gas, thanks to RC. That water issue, RC seems to think that it's just overflowing at certain points when it goes down the road, and it's not necessarily leaking, so we're keeping an eye on that. It's been dry the last couple times he actually looked under there, we looked under there, so I think we might have dodged a bullet on that. Not sure. I'll keep you guys posted. I was really thinking that was going to end up being a big runaround, but again, I think we might be okay there. But other than that, I want to get some new tire covers for, especially before summer. The ones we bought, we found them on Amazon, and I guess it's kind of, you get what you pay for. They were fairly inexpensive, but they were super thin, and they seemed like they are already kind of giving out as far as just the durability of them. So I want to get, that we used to have some thicker ones that we had on the last trailer, so I want to find that brand again and put those on there. What do you guys do? I know it's typically right now ours is in gravel. The tires, I know a lot of people like to put boards under them, even in storage on gravel, just to keep any moisture or potential tire rotting out. I know dirt's especially bad if you keep it on there, straight dirt. So if anybody's doing that, do some research. Maybe you want to put some plywood underneath to preserve your tires, especially if you're running the Eagles or something like that. They're not necessarily cheap. Any tire is not cheap these days if you're going to run something decent. I could probably go on and on for tires for about, I don't know how long, probably the rest of the video, but everybody knows the importance of it. Especially keeping your tires inflated, inspected, the whole 9 yards, along with your axles, that type of thing. That reminds me, I do need to grease the axles, so I'll probably try and do that on this next trip. I was going to have RC do it, but he's encouraged me that it's pretty easy to do. I think I need to get a new grease gun to do it, and the proper grease. So I think I'll try and do that. Other than that, there's not a ton of maintenance I can think of that needs done. There's always little things. I've told people this before. It's kind of like owning a boat. The day you buy a boat and you just have a ton of little things to do, and the RVs are just like that too. You always find a little something, and if you can learn to do the bulk of it yourself, honestly, between YouTube and online, talking to people, whatnot, you'll probably be able to do the bulk of the things you need to do without having to pay somebody. I have been in that boat initially, and you get a few tools, start carrying around a few tools, and you can attempt some things and you'll get some confidence. There's one item, there's it's like a edge of the RV, and I'll try and put a picture. It's like a molding strip that was coming off. We were able to fix that. One time, the old RV, we had electrical socket completely come out. It's still intact, it still worked, but it was the plastic around it. We're able to fix that. So it's little things. Electrical, you got to be careful, obviously. Turn it off at the breaker or whatnot. But if it's little plastic breaking, little something that needs to be screwed, usually you can handle that. Don't think you can't. I mean, I know there's probably some repair shops that want you to drag it in there for every little thing. Again, I recommend finding a good mobile person. We had, when we first got our current fifth wheel, we had an experience taking it in where we had to wait, I think, a month and a half for something very, was that the flooring repair. Some people might remember that video, and I think there was one other thing that was in the master bedroom that was from the original walkthrough, the due bill items, and it took a month and a half. I couldn't believe it. Kept calling back. At that point, I knew once the due bill, if you buy new, especially, get your due bill stuff done and then find someone decent that's willing to do some of the warranty work, that's on time, that, you know, is honest. You know, I know some of those can be hard to find, but if you look online, look on Google, read their reviews. That's how I found RC and his mobile repair. But look in your area, you might find somebody decent that is willing to come out, which is even that much better. With our situation here, it's actually stored pretty far from where we actually live, so it's not quite as easy to have to get it repaired. But still, we make it work because we have a decent repair person, a really good repair person actually, that we feel, you know, very thankful and blessed to have. And so maybe you can find someone like that. That's one of the dilemmas and it's kind of one of the stressors, you could say, of buying new or just RVs in general if you need to get them repaired. I remember our lost RV, we went round and round with the generator, which we were never able to get fixed. I think it was an Onan. And even the previous owner, which was, you know, a family member, he made us fully aware of it. It was discounted because the generator wasn't working. He had made several attempts at it, and we made several attempts at it. And long story short, it got to a point where we realized it wasn't going to be fixed unless we spent thousands of dollars on it and did a total rebuild. It never got to a point where we could do it. And that's how it is sometimes. It gets to a point where, hey, how bad do you need the item versus how much money do you want to pay? And it never really was an issue with us. We rarely boondock then, and we rarely boondock now, although I do have a separate generator now. Honestly, we rarely use it. It's really there for emergencies. It's a Champion generator. I did a video on it a while back too, but it's things like that you go through that it can kind of weigh on you. And yeah, you want it perfect. I'm just saying right now, you're probably never going to get it 100% perfect. I mean, I know a lot of people strive for that, and I'm really glad they're able to. And I feel pretty good about ours right now, but there's always something to do or fix, or situation like that generator or other items. You just kind of have to wade through, find a good person if it's something you can't do yourself. But be willing to try and do things yourself, and maybe RVing may not be kind of for you, because again, there's always something to tinker with, fix, or get a hold of somebody to fix. You're gonna have to plunk down some money, and I've said this in other videos too. $500 is really if you pay $500 for RV repair, maybe it's something electrical, that's not bad. I mean, repairs can really rack up quick on an RV. Just letting everybody know, if they're thinking about getting into it, it's not exactly inexpensive to get into. Just go in with eyes wide open type thing, and know that when you buy an RV, it's a real commitment, not only from the standpoint of getting out and doing it, getting out and camping, which is great. A lot of people kind of forget that part, getting out and actually camping, and how nice that is, especially once you get out there. And then the other part of it is just, like I say, owning and maintaining. Just be aware of that stuff when you get into it. The salesperson at the lot's not going to tell you the negative stuff. Obviously, they want to make a sale. How many times you ask the salesperson, how good's this refrigerator? And in your back of your mind. And I've even told them, I said, I know I'm not going to get an honest answer. I just want to see what you say. And, of course, they're going to tout up whatever you ask them about. So that you have to do your own research is what I'm trying to say. Salesperson, that's fine. Whatever. They got their job to do. And, they can kind of guide you through. But I prefer to go in knowing what you want, and doing the research, making sure you at least start off with something decent. That way, if there is issues, you can kind of work from there, that type of thing, rather than maybe getting something that's absolutely horrible and then you got a real pickle going on, maybe with the maintenance repair or whatnot. But anyhow, that's pretty much it, guys. If you're still hanging in here to the end, I appreciate it. Appreciate all the new subscribers. And just know that I only do these videos when I actually do have something to talk about. It usually ends up being every couple weeks. But if anything does happen with that fuel pump, which is, please leave a comment down below if anybody's heard anything, or I know some people are starting to get them. I talked to a guy actually at Sam's gas station who had a similar truck, 19 diesel Ram 2500, and he said he took his truck in because the batteries went out, similar to what happened with ours recently, a couple months ago. But his dealer went ahead and replaced the fuel pump. I think it's the CP. He got the CP4. So that was kind of odd. I was like, well, you must have gone to the right dealer. Matter of fact, I still need to call that dealer he was telling me about and see maybe they have some in and just take it there from now on for stuff like that, rather than getting on a waiting list. And you know, how many are still on the waiting list and how many have gotten their fuel pumps? I guess that's the question you can leave in a comment. But anyways, everybody have a great day, weekend coming up, and be safe out there, and we'll talk to you next time.